Bully is an action-adventure beat-em-up game set in the quaint town of Bullsworth, New England. We play as Jimmy Hopkins, an angsty but grounded 15-year-old boy that has been placed in a brand new school while his mom's on a honeymoon with his new stepdad. On the surface, this game is a high school story, yes, but it's really a love letter / satire of tropey teen films and just high school culture in general. Its narrative explores themes of self-respect, responsibility, and leadership as it encourages us to stand up for ourselves against literally all odds. Its side content, combat, and social mechanics are very impressive for the time, and this game serves as a fantastic time capsule depicting middle school or high school life before the 2000s and technology really started to change everything. The rules to this challenge are very simple. Rule number 1, I cannot punch anybody. Rule number 2, only kicks and grab. What the fuck? Only kicks, grapples. None of that punching shit. And rule number 3 is no weapon spam. If you spam weapons in this game, some of these weapons are actually really overpowered, like the slingshot and the spud cannon. But you know what? We're not using those because we're not a puss. And I'm only going to use those weapons mostly in the early game once I deem it absolutely necessary. Let's get into the damn challenge and hopefully enjoy the story along the way. We kick off the run with a half-assed farewell from our mother and new stepfather. Forced to accept our new life as a city boy, we reluctantly follow the secretary to see the headmaster of Bullworth Academy. We talk to the principal, or headmaster, whatever the fuck his name is. He tells us where we'll be staying. We continue to the dorms only to be met with a couple of bullies off-rip. Boy, I just got here. Not even 2 seconds into the story and it's already clobbering time. The game gives us a 3-punch combo that we are forced to use, only never to be used again. My first obstacle in this challenge presented itself almost immediately, as I realized you don't have any kicks unlocked when you start the game. So I essentially used a tutorial section like the lab in Mortal Kombat or a practice range in a shooting game. And I discovered that the grab is going to have to be my go-to. I had to resort to pushing, tackling, and kicking. This is all we're going to have until I get my hands on a transistor or some other way to unlock moves. So yeah, fights are pretty much going to be the visual equivalent of throwing cheese on a bald man's head, so bear with me. After the tutorial, we get introduced to Gary, the cap-cut captain of Bullworth.
Get off, man! Listen to me, tough guy. You just arrived at the toughest school in the country, and I'm offering to be your friend. Trust me. In a place like this, you're gonna need friends.
Yeah, he's a bit of a prick, but we just roll with the punches for right now. No pun intended. We also get introduced to Petey, the biggest pushover in the game. But considering how everyone else in the school seems to be a prick, he's probably gonna be Anyways, we carpet bomb Bully and hang out with Petey and Gary some more. In between missions, the fights are about as entertaining as watching paint dry, but here are some highlights. A little bit after that, I stumble upon the old crackhead squatting behind the bus lot on campus, but he shows me some cool moves to keep me from snitching on him. The hobo's moves were something I was actually looking forward to this challenge because of the supposed versatility of his combos, but almost all of them start with punches or a combination of punches. So his moves are honestly just useless to me right now, unless I time the kicks in a way where the punches don't land first, but that's pretty risky. But that's something I gotta worry about for later. After training with Fent Joe, I ran into a Discord mod. The Discord mod tells me he's got a bladder issue, so I have to escort his chubby ass to class. During the escort mission, I defend him while he unleashes Niagara Falls in the toilets. Dude, are you vomiting? After 4 hours, McFatass gets escorted. I take an art class, get some herpes from Nerdette, and listen to Nerd MLK give a speech to some Windows XP sounding motherfuckers.
Vote for me.
Bro. In between some missions, I attend the most important class of this entire run, gym class. Gym class is surprisingly what made this whole run possible. If it weren't for this class, I genuinely think this challenge would be a lot more boring. Because in Gym 1, we learned the move Headbutt. Headbutt is a heavy attack that deals respectable damages early on, and since it's not a punch, it's a move that we can add to our arsenal. However, the only caveat is that you need to grab someone standing up, which is an issue because some enemies just straight up won't let you grab them. We'll talk more about that later. After learning that move, we embrace our inner junk as we raise hell on campus during the Halloween mission. Gary and I pull a medley of pranks on everybody, but with the most extreme resulting in the gym coach stepping on hot dog shit.
Oh, God!
I gotta give Gary that one, that was pretty funny. But I can't give him too many props because this conniving bastard lowers me to the sewers out of nowhere just to tell me that he hates my guts as he gives his little mustache twirling dialogue.
What are you talking about? Don't play innocent with me. You want to run this school? I want to run this school. Only one of us is gonna make it. and it's gonna be me!
Gary then sends Russell into this perfectly cylindrical arena to fight me. The Russell fight seems scary at first due to my inability to grab or punch, but whenever those options are impossible, I just resort to my slingshot. His tackle hits pretty hard, but it's easy to dodge. After a series of RKOs and pebble pelting, I win us the fight, but much like Jimmy, our problems are only just beginning. Hey everyone, I hope you're enjoying the video so far. I won't take up too much of your time because I know you're still watching. I want to say that I put a lot of work into these kinds of videos and I'd like to do much more of these in the future. So I politely ask y'all if you can like and subscribe and follow my socials down below for some updates and reels about other stuff I find interesting. I would really appreciate your support. Alright, I'm done. Back to the vid. Chapter 2 is where the difficulties begin to present themselves. The main issues being that the preppy dickwads are the most annoying enemies to fight in this game because most of them can't even be grabbed. But before I get too ahead of myself, we now have access to the city, and the possibilities of bullshit expand ever more prominently. But before we go to the city though, the headmaster scolds me for being a pugilist, and in the very same cutscene some pompous prick in a sweater challenges me to box.
Hey listen, we like to box.
But before I clobber that Nepo baby, I have to recover Eugene over here's character sheets
Some ruffians took it upon themselves to steal my
Grottos and Gremlins character sheets.
from some really obnoxious bullies. Listen to this motherfucker.
Stop that! Hey, what's with the unfair fighting? Hey, what's with the unfair fighting?
Hey, what's the unfair fight?
What's with the unfair fighting? Hey, what's with the unfair fighting?
Shut up! Hey, he's the ultimate rage bearder. Get your f***ing ass over here. Just listen to this guy. This was some S-tier rage baiting, and no other character has even come close.
Oh my gosh! Nothing. Bro, we get it. You're not even fighting me, you're just running away like a...
After flooring that annoying ass white kid, I get some more herpes and witness a literal crackhead pull a 10 out of 10 teacher. Whoa! I also learned a sweep move from the hobo, but I don't really use it because the range is too short and the damage is really not worth the risk. After some time has passed, I try to go see a movie, but instead we run into Entitlement, the character.
Please, Jimmy.
What's in it for me?
I'm a princess,
Oh.
and I need people to do things for me. So hurry up because I want to be first.
Oh man.
A lot happens in this chapter in terms of story, but essentially all you'll have to know is that the preppies are acting arrogant, and Jimmy is the one person to put them under a microscope and humble them.
Wow, you look a bit like my gardener at home.
Yeah.
However, Gary spreads rumors like a f***ing attention-starved schoolgirl, and that only triggers them more. So I end up egging Tad's house, getting into a beach brawl, and
Go and collect all the dirty laundry from the, girls' dorm.
Okay.
And if you get caught, I know nothing about it.
shortly after School Diddy gets his draws, we meet up with Zesty Pete not knowing what else to do. He suggests we go pull up to the boxing gym to best their best fighter and show them who's boss, and that's exactly what we do. By the way, I know this is punching, so if you want to be that guy, yes, we can't technically beat Bully with no punching, but we're forced to do it here, so I really don't want to fucking hear it. Immediately after KOing Biff, Darby's condescending ass decides he's gonna send his lackeys after me like a little bitch. So I have to fight some goons. This entire mission took me so much more time than I had expected. This was the hardest fight in the entire game for me. No lie. I'm forced to fight enemies that can barely be grabbed, so I have to throw eggs and other shit at them, on top of the fact that there aren't many heal items in this room, and you're in a confined space, with constant enemies flowing in. I didn't realize till later you can actually pull the plank down, but that's just my fault, I guess. But on top of all of that, I still didn't have access to high damaging moves, so I had to play like a puss after I realized I wasn't going to beat this guy with grapples and kicks alone. So reluctantly, I had to resort to cheesing the guy with my slingshot, and that's eventually what won me the fight. I know, riveting shit. It gets better though, just keep watching. After Jimmy pops off and rubs his victory in everyone else's face, he doesn't stop there, and he decides to set his sights on the greasy greaseballs. Chapter 3 begins, and we're greeted by a powdery version of Bulworth during the holiday season. The winter chapter is easily the most detailed and fleshed out compared to the other chapters in this game, which goes to show how much care went into each chapter. It's like each chapter tells its own story, or remembering something from your childhood that's been forgotten for so long. But setting nostalgia aside, there will be ample enemies for us to encounter, most notably the Greaser Clique. These greasy comb slingers aren't as annoying as the preps, but they definitely hit harder. Not to mention, they steal your bike faster than Joey Chestnut destroys 5-cent ass blast wings on his fucking lunch break. But regardless, there's a lot of missions jam-packed in this chapter. We're only going to go over the ones pertaining to this challenge, but just because I know y'all are curious, I helped Crackhead Santa get some money for more crack, helped our revolting lunch lady find love, and popped off at the Christmas band concert. The main story missions begin with Johnny asking Jimmy for a favor.
So you came. Hey.
Yup.
He's paranoid that his girl Lola is cheating on him with other boys, and he asks us to gather evidence. In my opinion, he's pretty valid for this because it's not like he's got phones or social media to play detective, like nowadays. So reluctantly, we agree to his request, and we use our camera to catch Lola in the act, guilty as sin. Girl wasn't even trying to be slick with it either. Anyways, we send Johnny the evidence and start the consecutive mission immediately, where Ernest yells something that he really shouldn't.
Amigo!
He tells me that his friend is getting pressed by Johnny and his greasy gang about Lola's whereabouts. For some reason, this part was way harder than I expected due to Cornelius being more frail than a Make-A-Wish kid.
I shall have to resort to violence.
Nigga wanna see me fall. Stephen Curry, how I ball.
Cornelius! Oh my god! After we beat the greasy goobers, it turns out Cornelius never snitches on his gang, as he gives us the actual location of Algie and Tad. When we get there, Algie and Tad are sipping hard for the teenage trollop, and eventually she leaves both of them after she doesn't give him anything.
Smartass.
Ridiculous. Women. Look at you both. You're pathetic.
But I thought she liked me.
We convince the simps that Lola is dirtier than my toilet bowl after chili night, and we book it on our bikes after realizing that Johnny and his crew caught wind of her scampy shenanigans. After a long first-person slingshot fight on Tad's bike, we make it back to the school, and Algie gives us an offer that most people will always refuse.
Play a game or two of Grottos and Gremlins with us sometime.
Grottos and Gremlins! I do some more negligible missions, like destroying my math teacher's property, leaving my mark on the world, and this. Lola begins to notice me after I hit that sick backflip, so naturally she has to coerce me to do something for her as well. Because Jimmy can't put 2 and 2 together, he falls for it because he's 15 years old with absolutely zero shame. The Tenements mission is one of the coolest missions in this game, but also one of the most risky, because if you get knocked out, you have to start from the very beginning and do it all over again. But I had gained access to an ace up my sleeve. Let's just say I've been a good student, and I attended my 3rd class. The knee drop. The knee drop is the funniest, most vicious, and disrespectful move in this game. And since I can't punch anyone, this will be my go-to move for every fight humanly possible. I am no longer Jimmy Hopkins. I am the ultimate equalizer. The condom that you didn't ask for but needed. Because by the time I'm done with the fight, there will be no chance for my victim's chance of reproduction. Ever. But yeah, after learning this move, the mission was an absolute breeze. Even Norton was a pushover because the game just gives you a ton of firecrackers to hit him with. And since I can't grab him, I kill him with fire. After I carpet bombed the Hammer Bro, I grabbed his cartoony hammer, got Lola's bullshit, and dipped. Johnny has had enough. He declares war on the preppy kids because of Lola's scary ass, and Lola has the audacity to expect me to throw down with them? No, I'm just kidding. Sadly, we do, because Jimmy has a boy. What? No, because Jimmy boy has an ego. But it's all good because I'm not in it for her. I'm in it for the aura farming. After some proper ass whoopage, the fight escalates to a dirty street fight with Johnny and his boys that takes an even bigger turn when we're forced to flee when the cops arrive. We pursue Johnny on his bike and we end up in a construction site where his greasy goons ambush us. This is easily one of the coolest fights in the game, and it has this perfect mix of believability and grandiosity at the exact same time. We take out Johnny's goons with a slingshot so Petey can back us up by snatching Johnny's bike with a fucking magnet. What? Who the hell left that there? Anyway, after Pete gets the bike, it's wraps for Johnny and his future kids. If he's even able to have him after that, Jesus, I just absolutely destroyed him. The Greasy King fight was fun and all, but Johnny did pack a bit of a punch, but he was no match for the ultimate equalizer combo. I defeat Johnny and his greasy, smelly, stinky squad to prove to him that this short king can dish out whatever his boys and all of Bulworth throws at him. The penultimate chapter of this game has its ups and downs for me. A big positive would be the vibrance of this chapter and the beauty that comes along with the spring season. Everything just pops and looks absolutely amazing. Look at those trees. But a negative point has to be the missions. Jesus Christ. A lot of these missions were just redundant and nonsensical, both narratively and through gameplay.
I think I have finally caught the essence of what it means to be a banana.
We start the chapter by chatting with Pete as he reminds us of Gary and his scheme to destroy our reputation. But we don't really care about what that incel has to say about us whatsoever, so we just ignore it. Until a couple airheaded jocks come along and mess with Pete and I. Instinctively, Jimmy yells an insult at them.
Go have some fun in the communal showers. Ooh, I just dropped my soap. Please pick it up for me.
As he sets his sights on the jocks next. At this point, I pretty much get all the transistors, but since exists, there's literally no point using the other moves other than temptation, so I don't even bother giving them to the old man, so sorry, crackhead. The first mission is called Stronghold Assault, and it starts off with Algie cooking Petey.
Because you're weird. Weird? Look at you. You've got a weak bladder.
I need the help of the fat pisser, so I talk to him. Algie seems to be on some of that herb or something because he tells me to go F off, so I have to earn his trust back. But Pete gives me a little tip and says that once I get Ernest to trust me, then the rest will follow, so that's exactly what I do. I infiltrate the nerd's hideout thing, and it took me a couple tries because I was admittedly fucking around with frisbees. But after I locked in, I took down the nerds seriously. I gained Ernest's trust. God, try saying that 3 times fast. By making an agreement to bring down the jocks. Some time passes after raiding the stronghold, so I end up doing some redundant missions again. Like selling some of the bio teacher's drugs to our favorite predator, Mr. Burton. Being seduced by the art teacher only to find out that she used me as her personal shopper for her actual date with the English teacher. And then rescuing that same English teacher from a fucking insane asylum because of his crippling alcoholism. And this mission took forever. I don't even know why I'm even going into an insane asylum. Like Miss Phillips, if he wants to go to the insane asylum, fucking let him, bro. It's his loss. After realizing high school truly never ends in the workforce, I eagerly start the next story mission, which just so happens to be watching a cheerleader take a shower. Like, bro, what the actual fuck? I'd be a man-hater too if I saw this shit happen. With my faith in humanity dwindling more and more by the minute, I start the next mission, Funhouse Brawl. This mission is one of the most creative missions in the game, and it was a nice change of pace that made you feel like you were a kid again. And we start by meeting the nerds in the library as they tell us some of their 4-eyed foot soldiers got ambushed by the jocks at the funhouse. It's our job to locate the payload and extract them by any means necessary. So I take that as an excuse to destroy their lineage via Shortly after Funhouse Brawl, the jocks enact their revenge by raiding the observatory, which is the nerds' hideout. The nerds prepare to hold down the fort with us as a vanguard. The jocks come storming in like zombies, and we take them down like zombies as quickly as possible. When the fists fail us, our salvation lies in potatoes. The next fight is a final step before enacting the nerds' master revenge plot against the jocks. Ernest tells us we need to steal the Bulworth mascot uniform so we can use it as our Trojan horse. So to do that, we need to rage bait whoever was wearing it prior to us. We lure him to the massive drain pool to square up once and for all. Turns out I sold a couple of times because it looks like the jocks pumped this dude full of PEDs. When I get to the fight again, I realize I can stun lock him using the slingshot, then tackle him to the ground. Knee, kick, slingshot, repeat. So rest assured, that juice head wasn't safe for my lineage destroying combo. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the big game. The big game is one of the longest missions in the game, and for good reason, because it's the one mission at least every boy has fantasized over at least once. The mission starts by pulling some pranks on the jocks before their game starts, like putting marbles on the field, putting glue on the benches, and even pissing in their Gatorade. That's gotta be illegal, but whatever. The mascot costume keeps us concealed, and whenever the jocks get suspicious, we just perform a dopamine-inducing dance to pacify their dumbasses. But after the jocks finally catch wind that something's up after Cornelius puts a zesty message on the scoreboard, it's time to throw down.
That little squirt Hopkins.
Yeah, that squirt Hopkins.
You're dead, Hopkins.
Yeah, dead Hopkins.
Why don't you stop repeating everything he says and get on with it?
Ted's fight is pretty much a waiting game. He throws explosive footballs at you, and he sends his runners to go fight instead of himself. You win by literally throwing the footballs back at his defensive guard, or whatever. I don't play football. Until there's no one left. Once everyone is knocked out, you finally can sack Ted, which is baby mode easy because he goes down literally one tackle. After the entire school sees a 5'4" freshman sack the star quarterback, the crowd goes nuts.
You did it! I'm king of the school! Oh, you beat them all in front of everybody!
Feeling invincible, Jimmy basks in the limelight as he understandably ponders how anyone can best him now. They say that all good things must come to an end, but in this case, was the good really as good as Jimmy thought it was? Chapter 5 is the final chapter in the game, and it honestly feels rushed. Like Rockstar was on a time crunch and they needed to turn in their work before 12 AM type of rushed. The opening cutscene shows Jimmy unified amongst all the cliques, cracking jokes, flirting with girls and whatnot, basically letting all the power get to his head. Peter reminds him that Gary is still scheming behind his back, but Jim Bob still doesn't bother with Gary whatsoever.
Just don't turn into a jerk. How could I? Hey, baby. How you doing? What you doing later? Just remember, Jimmy, not everybody likes you.
I'm sensing a connection here. Before we assert our dominance over Bulworth, we gotta help our drunk-ass teacher get that condescending fat math teacher sacked for giving out cheat sheets. But before I do that, I hit a dope 360 off the roof and need a greaser in the balls. Because free will. After I secured my drunk-ass uncle's job, man, I'm sorry. We showed the town that we don't care about the government or the established order by tagging City Hall. But what's not badass is having everyone hate us afterwards. Pete pretty much tells us we're cooked because every faction hates us now because of Gary enacting his scheme that caused more chaos than Dutch's mango fantasy and so I have to heavily backtrack in order to clear my name, like killing rats in the library, rescuing a boy in the psych ward, and putting out a fucking fire.
Hey, what's up, Mr. Burton?
What's up? My gym is up in flames!
Yeah, I don't know, man. Bulworth would fucking crumble without Jimmy. Jimmy, understandably exhausted, steps out of school to hit the town, where we get introduced to Zoe, the scene girl who has an attitude on sight, even though we are literally just vibing.
I was at Bulworth once. I got kicked out.
Why?
Let's just say Mr. Burton is a dirty creep.
Seriously?
So Jimmy embraces his inner empath by ramming a fucking tractor into Mr. Burton's porta potty and turning him into his spirit animal, a shit stain. Now being trauma bonded, we break into a warehouse and destroy a ton of expensive shit and enjoy the frivolousness of young love. Riding a high, Jimmy heads back to school only to be met with an announcement on the intercom.
The office now.
After extinguishing the metaphorical and literal firestorm Gary caused, I'm rewarded with...
You are leaving! I tried to contact your mother, but she's still off on a cruise. Until I hear from her, I will have to let you stay here in your room. But you may not wear the school uniform or attend classes.
Gotta be kidding
You are
me.
leaving the academy to attend to your education elsewhere. Now get out!
Not knowing what to do with myself, I run into Petey who spits some much needed facts on the matter.
We gotta prove Gary was behind everything. We don't even know if it was Gary. All we know is townie kids beat up a bunch of Bulworth kids. I mean, I don't even care anymore. Well, we've gotta find out what's going on. Come on! Okay, but if we're gonna take on those townies, we're gonna need a bunch of backup. Someone big who doesn't hate me yet. So,
By the way, I forgot to mention, the townies are the dropouts in this game, and they live outside Bulworth. And we're gonna need some muscle to get into their hideout, so we go get the big guy. We don't even get to finish our request before he's posted up on a police chopper, ready to stand on business. He gives me his Meemaw scooter, and we roll out Autobot style towards the stronghold. Russell fucking dies, and we carry on with Zoe guiding us through the townie's lair. This is my favorite mission, by the way. The spectacle, the soundtrack, and the scale of this mission is just so fucking awesome to me. Just listen to this. It's perfection. Combat at this point, literally a joke. After dealing with Edgar's cronies on the roof, it's time to confront Edgar himself. For some reason, Bro lures us to the center of a nuclear power plant. Yeah, that's not gonna end well for us in 15 years, so thanks for cutting my lifespan in half, you fucking asshole. Anyways, after eating shit during the parkour section climbing down the plant, we have this metal pipe sword fight that's honestly pretty creative and fun. Since I'm not punching, I could technically use this pipe to fight, but for the challenge's sake, I try to use tackles and grapples on Edgar. It's a little success. I failed this a couple times before caving and using the metal pipes to at least parry and win the fight that way. After beating a literal adult, I inform Edgar about Gary deceiving him and his clique, and that's how we earn his trust.
Gary said we make them all pay.
wait a second. Gary? Ah, I bet he said the two of you would take over the school or some crap.
Hey, how'd you know?
Because he told me the same garbage. Didn't do me any good either. Come on. You're gonna help me make him pay for his lies.
This is it, fellas. It all comes down to this. The grand finale, or last hurrah, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. We start by talking to Zoe. She tells us that Bulworth has erupted into complete chaos, and we find out that Big Russ is actually alive. Somehow. I don't know how he can survive that. Took some PEDs that the mascot had. I don't even know. All I know is that he looks mustier than a Discord mod after E-Sex. But shortly after successfully busting out Russell, we cut over to the school. Edgar and his boys are already over there, and they're wondering what the commotion was. We inform them about Gary's antics again, and Russell has a full circle arc shift.
Russell likes to hurt people for peace.
And with Russell busting in, that kicks off the real mission. Gary has all the cliques spinning in confusion or just going straight insane. Basically, we have to fight all the clique bosses consecutively like Ernest, Darby, Johnny, and Ted, in order to re-establish order within Bulworth. After ensuring none of these kids even think about having children in their lifetime, it's time to finally ice that little bastard Gary once and for all. We chase Gary on top of the school scaffolding, and this little shit literally tries to kill us with bricks and mortar, coupled with concrete on the freaking ladder, like the little cretin he is. Once we dodge all his BS though, there's nowhere left to run. We finally get our grubby mitts on this little twerp.
You're such a loser! Well, at least my mom doesn't make her living on her back! You're dead!
My friends, let me tell you, this was the easiest fight in the entire game, and poetic justice was given quite biblically.
Get him up, let him get up, let him get up, let him get up. Fight back! Fight back!
I need his balls so hard they went packing, looking for a new body part to reside in. This dude couldn't even get up. So now with that afterthought out of the picture, we rescue our principal who heard all that commotion on the roof, and he had to change a heart. We give props to the friends we made along the way, and the game ends, with Jimmy earning his happy ending. So there you have it, guys. The Bully No Punch Challenge. First and foremost, if you made it this far, I just want to sincerely thank you from the bottom of my heart. I love making these types of videos because I think they're very engaging, entertaining, and fulfilling. The Bully is just a game that, makes you feel nostalgic. And, with things in the world right now, we truly don't know we're in the good times until the good times have come and gone. I'm just yapping right now, but if you guys want to see more of this type of content, please feel free to comment, suggest literally any game. I'm teasing the next game I might be open to doing. I'm also not just a gamer. I also like talking to people and my friends, and I like talking about things that's going on, things I'm passionate about. This is like a nice creative outlet for me, and hopefully you guys as well, just to express my creativity and passion. Because that's the whole point of YouTube at the end of the day, is to express your passion, not consume Feastables 24/7 and just try to make a business and try to pump out AI slop. My podcast, On Blast, go follow that. I'm just gonna do me. I implore you guys to do the same thing. Don't let anybody tell you what to do. Just do what you're passionate about. We have one life. Live it the way you want. Don't wait till tomorrow to do the thing you wanted to do right now. Leave a like if you enjoyed. I've been Reclaw. I'll see you guys in the next one. Okay. Woo! Woo!
It's a huge YouTube issue.
All right. Bully is a game about